Hey now, I'm Michael Ward, founder and CEO at Paminga, the only marketing automation platform with a native integration to IFS Cloud CRM. Let's talk about scoring leads. So you're generating leads on your website, potentially using our form builder, landing page builder, all those things, whatever you're doing, you're generating those leads, they're flowing into Paminga. You want to score those leads. And if those scores cross one or more thresholds that you've established, then let's create them in IFS, right? Then let's get them assigned in IFS. Then let's create some tasks in IFS. In Paminga, this is done with what are called lead scoring thresholds. They're very powerful and they are ridiculously easy to understand and use. So let's take a look. A lead scoring threshold in Paminga is a type of automation. So we'll go to Marketing Center, Automations, where we can see workflows, drip series, A/B email tests. Here we can create a brand new lead scoring threshold by clicking on this plus. Our lead scoring threshold drawer opens up. Honestly, if I stop right here and you just read a bit, it's pretty self-explanatory. Much more so if you have your hands in the platform itself. But let's walk through it. We'll give this a name of IFS CRM sample. I could give it whatever description I want, but I'm going to choose to skip that. We have to choose which lead scoring rule set we want this threshold to watch. So in Paminga, you can create a set of rules that are designed to score people. How qualified are they for product A? You could have a completely different rule set. How qualified are they potentially for product B or for service A, service B? So you can have multiple scoring rule sets operating simultaneously. Very, very cool. So I'll choose a rule set called Social Leads Overlay in this particular instance of Paminga. Here we have our settings. First thing it wants to know is what's our scoring category that we want to observe. So the total score in every rule set is a sum of the contact score plus the activity score plus the engagement score in that rule set. That's a different video. We'll just go with total score, what most people would commonly use. So if the total score reaches or exceeds or falls below. So we can do scoring thresholds in either direction. If it falls below this, do these things. In this case, we'll say if their score reaches or exceeds, and I'll say 100, just as an example, let's take whatever actions we want Paminga to take. Let's trigger them. Now, here's an interesting qualifier. And all required rules have been met. So again, different video about lead scoring itself. When you create scoring rules in Paminga, you can designate some of them, any number of them, as required. This rule must be met in order for the lead to be considered qualified in this rule set. An example is they must have an email address on the record, or it must be a business email address, must have a job title, must have a first name, last name. You could say company size must be at least 5,000 employees, right? You could do what you want there. I'll go ahead and turn that on and say that all required rules must be met for them to trigger this scoring threshold. Now, it's by default active once we save. I'm not saving right now, but here's the kicker, right? Actions. Actions in Paminga are just actually awesome. It's the exact same little thing, global actions and conditional actions. They're everywhere in Paminga. In this case, inside of this scoring threshold. And as it says, the global actions will be triggered for every contact that achieves this scoring threshold, whereas conditional actions will only be triggered when the contact that achieves this threshold also meets additional conditions that you're choosing. So the same actions that are available on either side here. We'll just jump to global actions. And there's a whole menu of actions here. They differ in different parts of the Paminga platform, but here we can add them to any number of drip series, remove them from drip series or workflows. Those are called campaigns. We can add them to or remove them from marketing lists, add them to or remove them from subscription lists. We could sunset that contact, unsunset that contact, maybe not applicable in scoring, but we put it here for you. You could send a notification. You could set a lead stage. You could set field values. Very, very interesting stuff you can do here. But down here, let's just look at the IFS specific actions. So we could have Paminga create a lead in IFS CRM when their lead score in Paminga crosses a threshold. So it's a pretty common workflow. They fill out the form on your website. You don't want to pollute CRM with every single person that fills out a form on your website. Instead, you let those people be absorbed into Paminga. You score them. And that scoring doesn't have to wait, to see what they do over the next 90 days. You could just say, do they meet these minimum thresholds? So, like, do they have a valid email address, this, that, the other, whatever matters in your business. And because you can create multiple rule sets, you can experiment with these very, very easily. So if we want to create a lead in IFS Cloud CRM, we'll just check the box and follow the prompts here and set the settings you want. I'm not going to go further with this. I don't want to go into all the details here, right? So we could create a lead in CRM. You could also create or update a contact in CRM if you want. That's generally more associated with an account, right? Of course. And that's probably, well, for a lot of people, that's not the way they want to roll for a brand new person coming into their CRM. But you can do it if you want to, of course. You can create cases in CRM, and you can put those on whatever queues you want. You can create tasks in CRM. Let's take a look at that. So here, we'll see that, as it says, you can create multiple tasks simultaneously, add as many as you like. So you can choose your task subject. Actually, you type your task subject. You can choose your task type. Now, these might vary based on the dropdown you have in IFS, right? Same thing with priority. Same thing with status. Could vary based on what you've got set up in IFS. We'll make this task due not the day after the task is created. We'll make it due the same day the task is created. And then we'll add another task, task 2. And we'll make this one due 2 days after the task is created. So you can see that whenever somebody qualifies for this threshold, right now we'll create 2 tasks that are spaced out by a few days. You can create as many tasks as you want. Now, I could keep going with more examples, but in the interest of a short video, this is the general gist of lead scoring thresholds in Paminga. Again, the only marketing automation platform with a native integration to IFS CRM. Thank you for watching.